Hello everyone. My name is Carmen Arteaga and I'm a student for Charles Drew University for nursing class. Tonight I will be presenting my topic that is representation. Representation is a powerful tool how people understand the world around them. The media, literature, and art and communication influence to the way individuals and cultures and social attitudes, beliefs, and identities. Representation as a cultural power. The first point lies with the power of culture, memory, or representation. The course materials make clear that representation develops meanings through images and the visual language of the world around us. Western art has been dominated through the age by constellation and associations between divinity, beauty, authority, witnesses, and patriarchy. In a careful attention to harmony, Roselle, she breaks with this tradition. She's not just critiquing exclusion, she's reimaging icon images for the Renaissance period, substituting to the icon European characters with black women and the war knights, regal poses, and allusions to classical art. Rosales provide a new idea of one might inhabit sacred and powerful areas and visual culture. Images create meaning. Art shapes memory, challenge erotic ideals, reclaims sacred imaginary, center black woman. Natural forms, questioning photography through camera appears objective. Beautiful standards challenge, but amid landscape, nature is identified connect, new meaning emerge. My second point related to the myth of the photography through. Photography is sometimes seen as objective, as a capture for exists. Rather, the photos are determined by choices of the authors and the expectations in the culture. Laura Aguilar's series, grounded in stillness and composed of the photographers are herself and desert environments. In her words, she puts her body in the company of rocks, in natural shapes, bringing similarities into sites between forms of the human body and forms of the environment. The images define the norm of beauty and highlight connection, belonging, and permanence instead of presenting reality in factual manner. Aguilar questions the value and representation of some bodies in the art spaces. Personal reflection. Visual influence belief. Bias often ignored. Art encourage reflection. Representation matters. Perspectives can change. Rosales and Aguilar share a certain interest in challenging the assumptions in visual culture. Their work reflects the power of images in shaping the concepts of identity. Beauty and belonging these authors invite the viewer to look more closely and reflect on what they already know. We often have responses to images that are product of culture, conditioning that we are unaware of. Rosales and Aguilar challenge those automatically responses with alternative representations. As important question raised by their work is, who define beauty, power, or sacredness in our lives? And how did we come to live with those definitions? Critical question. Images construct reality, meaning is not fixed. Representation shapes culture and our influence perception. Questions. Is everything displayed a representation and no reality? Does the artist have a social duty to challenge the dominant cultural narratives? Or should art be first and foremost about individual expression? Both authors and in the end make us aware that the picture is not necessarily representation of reality. They actively engage in making meaning by alternating subjects, points of view, and visual perspective. Artists can be disrupt interaction culture. Narratives and offer a new vision. The uniqueness of Rosales and Aguilar is that they show that representation matters and its affects self-conception and other conceptions. If we ever think this appetite is no representation and no reality, does the artist has a social duty to the challenge to domain culture narratives? Or should the art be first and foremost about individual expression? In conclusion, representations is a significant form of culture power because it influences how people identify in social groups are perceived and valued through the media, art, literature, and the other cultural institutions. Representation belief reinforces on challenges, stereotypes, and affect access to the social communities and promote greater understanding and equality. This for understanding representation is a cultural power. It's essential for recognizing how meaning, identity, and power are created and confessed in society. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation and have a good night.